congratulations to each and everyone you coming over and supporting this engineer. I would also like to say that I'm actually humbled that I'm asked to speak alongside these three gentlemen. These three gentlemen have been, when I joined the industry, I started as an internship. I don't remember that in the ministry, my very first year, second year with John Keys. And since then I've been looking up to these gentlemen, Krishna, Brent, and John. So I'm actually humbled by the fact that I've been asked to speak alongside them. Because as John would know, this is a passion of mine, the stratigraphy of Trinidad. So I want to sort of present some ideas here. Hopefully that goes along with what everybody is saying, and end with a second presentation, a very brief presentation, sort of giving a structure of where we're heading with this. Just by way of introduction, I'm Hasley, for those of you who don't know me. I've been around, worked with several people here, bounced around quite a lot in the industry, from ministry to different companies. I'm seeing some of my old bosses here. So I'm sort of a rolling stone. But to say a rolling stone, that is no much. So I think I've gathered quite a lot of us. I've seen a lot of interpretations, I've had lots of debates and discussions. I'm described as a loctance. So it's really a pleasure for me to come today and sort of share a few slides to sort of add to this discussion. And hopefully we'll have somewhat of a vibrant discussion just after what I'm putting forward. The first presentation is going to highlight a few examples, I think, of things that I've seen that already are raising some red flags. And so I want to impart that onto the audience that there's avenues, there's areas that we've already seen that we can change and modify and focus on. And so it's certainly the challenge out there for other people to come up with similar suggestions. So what will it look like? I'm going to end with a pseudo chart on what we could be heading towards. So highlight segments, just repeat. I'm going to try and take a possible revision. I'm going to pick on a few of the formations. I'm going to pick on the one that I said, Vincent formation, Soldado. I'm going to have a quick look at the Lizard Springs, Shoalgate, Navan area, so that's the Paleogene stuff. Then I'm going to jump up to the old Pliocene geologists, according to John. So we're going to pick on the Pliocene geologists a bit. We're going to jump up at the Forest Pinam area and have a look at some of the things that I think book shows, demonstrates, could be changed. And the other presentation will really deal with how do we address these. So the first thing is, again, to acknowledge the work that has been done. A lot of good, solid, strong industry and academic work has gone into these charts that John and Krishna and everybody has shown. Right? So we have to acknowledge that first. These are sound, they've stood the test of time. Many of these are 40 or 60 years old, some of these tables we're looking at. Certainly it doesn't mean that they're the end of the story. That's why we're here today. But a lot of good, solid work we thought went into the chart that we've got. Given the conditions, if anybody who's trying to feel work in Trinidad, you realize that working here is not easy. So the end result of all of this work really is a series of maps. The latest of what I call Saunders et al. 1998. I know it's being referred to as 1997, but I'm simply going with the date that's on the map itself. It's 98, although the write-up was in 97. And obviously we all know of the Google map in 1959. And between these two maps, we had a lot of fundamental differences. Saunders would say in his write-up in the 97 booklet, brochure, that the map pretty much remains unchanged. But as geoscientists, working geoscientists, both in academia and industry, we have to recognize the difference between these two fundamental pieces of work. One, Northern Range. Any of the modern workers looking at the Northern Range has to have a look at the updates made to the Northern Range. Central Range sort of remains stable, largely unchanged. But there's some fundamental changes also in the colors you'd see on the map in the southern basin. For example, you notice that the yellow in the 1959 map, probably not seeing that. It's not colored in a different color. You can see what it is. It's different. And also some of the greens we see in the 1959 map, some of the greens and the blues we see here are not here. So these are two fundamental pieces of work that we have to understand moving forward. We have to, as I think John said, we've got to understand where we came from, we know where we're going. Generation of stratigraphic tables. I'm going to skip by this. We spoke about this before, but this again is references this work by Saunders et al. I think it was a collective effort of people like John Saunders, John Bruce Edison, John A lot of people went into creating this, so we got to acknowledge that. So let me think a bit on a few of the formations and demonstrate what I think are areas that are very easy to see why we probably need to revise the stratigraphic table. So we're going to start looking at the Eocene and the Paleocene, Soldado formation, and the Boca de Serpente formation. And we see this sort of tucked away, look at all the Soldado sort of tucked away under the shoulder formation, and it's trying to hide. It's hiding for good reason. My personal view shouldn't be there. It should be there for. I'm going to try to demonstrate that. And similarly, the Boca de Serpente formation, that's probably a little sliver formation that John was, similar to what John was talking about. But that again, I think, should not be here. I'll try to demonstrate that.